The climate crisis is a food crisis, and the food crisis is a humanitarian crisis. There is no climate justice without ensuring that there is food justice. And what I have come to understand is that people need to be at the center of the conversation about this crisis, because people matter, we matter. The child going hungry at night matters. The mom who has to walk long hours to find water, to look for food for her family matters. The farmer who watches his fields wither and his family suffer matters. So I say this to the leaders: stop investing in fossil fuels, stop digging up and burning fossil fuels, and stop forcing fossil fuels back into the ground where we grow the food that sustains us.
Let's talk about sustainable cities whilst I make my morning coffee. When most people think about an eco-metropolis, they imagine something like this. And hey, this might be what the future looks like, but sorting out our cities is going to take a lot more than just lots of plants. And it's actually really, really important, because currently cities use over 2/3 of the world's energy. The first thing we need to do is start implementing smart power grids. Our power system was created over 100 years ago, when our needs were a lot less complicated. We weren't boiling kettles or plugging our smartphones in when we went to bed. Now that our needs have evolved, we need to create a dialogue between the energy provider and the energy consumer, so that the provider can monitor how much energy is being used in homes or workspaces and adapt accordingly. This means less waste. Secondly, we of course need to start investing even more in renewable energy. Dubai's smart city is a really exciting example of it. Let me show you a picture. How cool is this? Aside from looking like something straight out of a sci-fi novel, it shows how urban spaces can be made more earth-friendly. Looking back at smart systems, we could also implement smart water management, which would allow us to monitor how much water is needed and again prevent waste. Finally, onto something that really excites me: considered mobility. As it stands, the majority of cities are currently catering to cars when they need to be catering to emissions-free travel, like travelling on foot or riding a bike, or shared travel like trains or buses. And that's before we even mention the fact that reduced emissions also mean better health for the people that live in the cities. Circular economies, sky-rise greenery, there are loads more ways that we can make our cities more sustainable. It's impossible to fit it all in one TikTok. But if you are interested in
ecotourism, I think to understand ecotourism, we first need to understand why it's categorized as eco in the first place. According to the World Travel and Tourism Council, an estimated 8 to 11% of global greenhouse gas emissions is due to tourism. And to put that into perspective, an approximate 13% of global greenhouse gas emissions is due to agricultural, forestry, and land use. From transportation to retail, tourism leaves its mark on natural ecosystems and local communities. So ecotourism is a type of sustainable tourism that involves responsible travel and minimizing the negative impacts of traditional tourism. It's built on the pillars of conservation, community, and education. So this can include traveling to natural areas or attractions, understanding cultural heritage, and being willing to learn about the place you're visiting beforehand to ensure mindful traveling and overall respect. In all, ecotourism is a way for us travelers to appreciate the world while leaving as little of an impact as possible.
Hello and welcome. I invite you to join me on a rather special journey. We will travel across continents, from the bustling heart of ancient capitals to the gleaming towers of modern metropolises. Our quest is not for ancient ruins or natural wonders in the traditional sense, but for a new kind of marvel, the human ingenuity reshaping our urban world for the better. Today, we're exploring the 20 most sustainable cities in the world, places where humanity is attempting to live in greater harmony with the natural world that sustains us all. I would be delighted to hear your thoughts. Consider which city inspires you most and share it in the comments below. Our journey begins now, into the heart of a greener future. Our first destination lies in the heart of Scandinavia, Copenhagen. Here, the rhythm of the city is not dictated by the roar of engines, but by the gentle whir of bicycle chains. The city has woven an extraordinary network of cycle superhighways, and offshore wind farms and renewable projects power homes and businesses. Green spaces and even harbor baths offer fresh air and recreation. We travel east across the water to another Scandinavian jewel, Stockholm. Water is the city's lifeblood. For decades, Stockholm has worked to purify its waterways. Today, you can fish for salmon in the center of the city. Its efficient biofuel buses, trams, and metro, plus eco-districts like Hammarby Sjöstad, point the city toward a fossil-free future by 2040. Nestled by its shimmering lake and framed by the Alps, we find Zurich. Its Zurisak pay-for-trash system creates a financial incentive to reduce, reuse, and recycle, transforming everyday behavior. Punctual trams, trains, and buses, plus stringent green building standards and renewables like geothermal and solar, make Zurich an efficiency model. We cross the Atlantic to North America's Pacific coast, to a city cradled between mountains and ocean, Vancouver. A patchwork of parks and an urban forest like Stanley Park weave nature through the city, improving air quality and biodiversity. Vancouver's Greenest City Action Plan targets renewables, local food, and living roofs, a city that breathes. Our journey now takes us to the tropical metropolis of Singapore, a city in a garden. Vertical greenery and super trees harvest solar power and rainwater. NeWater recycles used water into ultra-clean reclaimed water. Meticulous long-term planning, a clean MRT, and mandated green building standards make Singapore self-sufficient and resilient. We return to Europe, to a city famous for canals and cycling, Amsterdam. With more bikes than people and an intricate network of safe paths, the bicycle is king here, reducing emissions and congestion. Blue-green roofs, urban biodiversity, retrofitted canal houses, and projects like the Suvel show circular, creative reuse of space. Our journey takes us north to Oslo, a city nestled at the head of a fjord and surrounded by forested hills. Government incentives, tax exemptions, free parking, free charging, made Oslo the city with the highest EVs per capita. Protected Marka forests, green corridors, and a revitalized harborfront integrate nature with urban life. We travel to Helsinki, Finland's capital, a showcase of thoughtful design for sustainability. Udi and walkable districts prioritize quality of life, seamless transit, and community co-design. Kalasatama pilots smart solutions, shifting from coal to biomass, geothermal and district heating, plus rooftop solar and heat recovery. We now journey to Vienna, a grand imperial city with modern sustainability at its core. Affordable, efficient public transport means more journeys by transit than by car, a key to Vienna's exceptional quality of life. The Spittelau plant turns waste into heat. Nearly half the city is parks and woodlands, a democratic green city. We travel to Munich, a Bavarian capital blending charm with tech. Munich aims for municipal green electricity by 2025. Roofs across the city are covered with photovoltaic panels. Efficient U-Bahn, S-Bahn, trams, and the vast Englischer Garten plus Isar River restoration keep the city green and livable. We return to the United States. San Francisco, a trailblazer in environmental policy. Aiming for zero waste, San Francisco diverts roughly 80% of waste with mandatory 3-bin collection, composting, and living roofs. Historic transit, growing protected bike lanes, and local markets support a green urban life. Our journey now takes us to South America, Curitiba, a beacon of sustainable urban planning. Pioneering in the 1970s, Curitiba's bus rapid transit with tube stations delivers subway-like speed affordably. The Green Exchange swaps sorted waste for bus tokens or produce. Parks double as flood control, a virtuous cycle for environment and community. We cross the Pacific to Sydney, famous harbor, iconic opera house, and growing green ambition. Sustainable Sydney 2030 drives increased canopy, low-emission transport, and green precincts like Barangaroo. Large-scale recycled water schemes, rainwater harvesting, and water-sensitive urban design build resilience in a dry country. We arrive in Tokyo, the world's most populous metropolis managed with remarkable efficiency. An unparalleled public transport system, Shinkansen, subways, and punctual interconnected lines move millions with precision. City cap and trade, building retrofits, LEDs, and hidden parks demonstrate how dense cities can be low carbon. Now, we return to Germany, to vibrant Berlin, reinvented in green, Fahrradstraßen, protected lanes in Tempelhofer Feld, an old airport turned public park, redefine urban priorities. Community gardening, zero-waste stores, and rooftop solar reflect grassroots energy meeting municipal policy. We journey to Melbourne, often cited as one of the world's most livable cities. Thousands of trees planted, unique tree ID tags with emails. Residents help care for an expanding canopy to cool the city and boost biodiversity. The world's largest tram network, city-led renewable purchasing, and a human-scale laneway culture make Melbourne sustainably livable. We land in Hamburg, a major port that balances maritime industry with environmental innovation. Shoreside power for ships, shifting freight to rail and waterways, and Hafen City's green building standards cut port emissions. Water, canals, and parks. Hamburg shows how industrial heritage can become a green urban asset. We arrive in Paris. Facing air pollution and congestion, the city is reclaiming space from cars. Protected cycle lanes and Vélib, plus the 15-minute city plan, bring work, shopping, health, education, and culture closer to home. Rooftop farms and massive greening efforts demonstrate Paris's retrofit approach to a historic city. Our penultimate stop, London, a sprawling historic city tackling congestion and air quality head-on. The congestion charge and ULS have reduced central traffic, funds reinvested into extensive transit, tube, buses, overground, and new cycling infrastructure. Despite density, London is a forested metropolis with royal parks, garden squares, and allotments that boost biodiversity and resilience. Our final destination is New York, the city that never sleeps, where density itself can be sustainable. Ambitious plans like One NYC and Local Law 97 drive building retrofits, green roofs, and rooftop farms like Brooklyn Grange. The High Line and Central Park, plus countless community gardens, show how this concrete jungle can cultivate green public life. And so our global journey concludes. From the cycling highways of Copenhagen to the vertical gardens of Singapore, from San Francisco's zero-waste ambitions to Melbourne's urban forests, we have witnessed a tapestry of innovation. These cities are living proof that a better, healthier, and more harmonious urban future is possible, and is already being built. If you found this journey fascinating, please subscribe and tell us which city inspired you most in the comments below. Every new bike lane, every solar panel, every tree planted is a seed from which a greener tomorrow can grow. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, our decisions build the world to come. Thank you for watching.